Welcome to WBOV in Cincinnati.
I got a little redwood right here in front of us. I'm going to hang to the left. Oh, yes, he is. Yes, he is. I don't know what he had done to his wife last night or today, but, oh, Kool-Aid, she was fit to be tied with him. She called me earlier wanting to know if I had seen him, and I'm like, no. I said, I'm just pulling off the door. And he shot me a text, and I said, oh, he's coming his way. He's fueling up there. She said, oh, I'm fit to get him. I said, go get him, girl. They talk all the time.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode. Leon here. I just wanted to do this episode about CBs and some of the little known things that I encountered with them to get them to work right for you in a SHTF or WROL situation. A lot of people aren't, big into CBs anymore. They're kind of a fading technology, as it were, but they're still very much use to you and your prepping community. That being said, the way I had it done before in the CRV, I wasn't doing it right, and just transferring that over to the FJ, that wasn't doing it right either. But I had a long talk with a trucker friend of mine, and he he lightened some things up for me. But you may have noticed in the previous shots the new antenna on the FJ. Jesus. Wasn't even looking. Anyways, I found out that half the car is half of the antenna, and that's the whole thing to consider. Those magnetic mounts, CB mounts, don't even worry about them. They're no good to you. Nothing beats that metal-to-metal contact to conduct radio signals and all that. And being a 4,000-pound body, this car, and being as high as it is, it was at a good starting point. So I went ahead and got a 4-foot whip and mounted it to the lip of the door gutter on the back. Now you want it to be as close to the center of the roof as possible, but for this application, it does just great. I've been picking up guys for as much as 15 miles away, which is really cool. Me and Hank have been hearing these guys all week. We built a receiver station at Hank's place, and it's running dual whips. But turn these hucksters down. But you can see how well it works. And me and Hank, I was near Lawrenceville when our signal started crapping out on us. That was a good distance away. We live in a old section of Duluth that used to be called the Hill, because literally it's a hill. It's a great big hill. And I was picking him up from both sides of the hill, all the way into Duluth and all the way into the next town. So town to town, we're good. And the reception has never been better. I'm on certain channels, when you turn the squelch down, you can pick up guys talking from South Carolina. And I think that's really cool, especially the base station guys. You can hear them all over the place. But we're able to monitor the traffic on the highway now from the house. Me and Hank can call house to house. And one thing to always remember about these antennas is don't put them in an angle like I had on the FJ before. I went ahead and scrapped that little 12-inch antenna, and the new one's a lot better. The longer the antenna, the better. If you really wanted to push it, you can get you an 8-foot width, but be sure to mount it, centrally, as centralized on the vehicle as you can, right in the middle of it, and as high up on the vehicle as possible to get your maximum signal length. Dual-phased antennas, as you'll see in another clip, are not practical on smaller vehicles in that they deaden each other's signal out. They have to be at least 8 feet apart for that to work. It works on semi-trucks, but that's because they're so big and their bodies reflect the signal in both directions, so they need an antenna on each side to get even coverage. If you're looking to get more range out of your CB radio, I would say go with a single steel whip, and the longer the better. I was able to go 4 feet or so. This car looks like a remote control toy now, but I get great reception all over the city and I'm never out of contact. So that's just something to consider. Oh, look. That car right there is almost the same car as this. It just has a different body. It's basically a Toyota Prado is what that Lexus is. But yeah, and as far as like fire sticks and stuff go, the trucker I was talking to told me that it's not practical on this application for bug out vehicles because first of all, they're not as good. The range is strong up close, but it doesn't have a lot of distance on it. And that UHF band and all that with the round coil around the fiberglass antennas, well, if you bend them too much, they snap. And the thing about the whip is that it's very springy and it gets under branches and the garage awning and stuff like that. So thanks for watching, everybody, and always remember, there's a wealth around.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to talk to you for the end of the video and show you some of the stuff I was talking about. There's the megahertz ranges for different types of antennas in different lengths. It's the 10 codes. I don't know. Everybody knows 10.4, but message received and understood. But did you also know that it's like, cannot understand you 10.1, 10.2, your signal's good. When someone gives you a radio check or asks for a radio check, you should say 10.2 driver. A lot of people don't do that anymore. 10.30, use caution. All this stuff right here. I might put links to this down below. But as I was talking about with the dipole or dual whip setup, dual loaded whips, a semi-truck, imagine this line right here represents the cab of the semi-truck, needs them because of the areas of coverage. It's reflecting it off 2 different directions. So 2 works out for a semi-truck. But on a normal car, what you get is they're too close together, and there is a deadened area that they create between them when they're too close like that. It all comes down to radiation from radio sources and whatnot, and knowing how an antenna is constructed. But let me just show you some things. Like right here, you can tell because you can't even reach out with a leg when you're driving a semi truck and touch the other door. So they're real far apart. That works for a semi-truck, and plus this whole area around there and this whole area around there are acting as the truck's, because like I said, the car body is half the antenna. So with a truck like this that's got a lot of metal in it but also got a lot of fiberglass and whatnot, these 2 fiberglass loaded whips work fine. Now on this Hummer, as you can see, they've got the deadening situation going on. This guy thought it'd be, he'd go overboard like he did with everything else, and he wanted to be able to reach out and touch someone. Well, they would have been a lot better. You mounted them right here. They're too close together. One would do him a lot better up on top of that tire carrier, sticking out as high as it can. These don't even barely come up above the vehicle body, and so that makes the signal very directional. He's only going to be picking up stuff real good behind him, and that's no good. You want universal 360 range. Even on the lid or the gutter right there mounting would have been better than this setup. If you'd had 2 of them back here on extensions to where they weren't too close together, he would have been kicking butt. But because of this setup, he's probably only getting to like 2, 3 to 5, maybe 5 miles. I have been picking up guys and transmitting from clear out to 15 miles away. I mean, you can hear me and Hank now from the other town. He ended up with a dual whip set up on the shed, that he has all the video cameras and stuff in. Finally, here, this is another one. You can tell a trucker owned this truck because he wanted his reception. So he got two, fiberglass fire sticks and hooked them up to his mirrors to look like his Mack truck. He's got the chicken lights and everything on it. Well, this is, again, too close together, and he's going to have a big dead spot. Whereas with one single 8-footer, you could get way farther out than you could with this setup, or even two, loaded whips next to each other. They're just causing interference. So that's what I was talking about.
You are listening to WBOV in Atlanta, Georgia. Channel 19, Gwinnett County.